Hi guys, Tracy Andas. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about my favorite show, Married at First Sight Australia, season 13, 2026. I really enjoyed this episode. I'm enjoying the new couples, lots of drama, and some people that are going to be leaving. That does make me sad, but that's okay. Let's get started. We're going to start with Beck. She claims the whole purpose of her behavior at the dinner party last night was to clear Danny's name. I mean, that makes absolutely zero sense to me. I mean, that's why you went after Joel. What does he have to do with clearing Danny's name from the week before? And the only person that can really clear Danny's name is Danny at this point. I mean, you embarrassed Rachel and Steven with your ridiculous conversation about where their sex life was at the current time. I mean, that's really none of your business. And when Rachel tried to share about her romantic movie night, Beck spouts out boring during this. I mean, how rude. This girl was absolutely out of control and just mean to everybody. I'm not sure what her purpose was clearing Danny's name by doing that at all. She actually told Steven it was time to service his woman. Who says that? She's a grown woman. She's 35 years old and she's telling Steven to service his woman? I'm completely embarrassed for her. The next person on her radar to attack is apparently our sweet Philip. I mean, what could she possibly say to this man? Well, she gives him a hard time about being controlling because he made a comment on Stella having her second glass of champagne. Well, that's between the two of them. She was asking him to hold her accountable because she didn't want to have more than one glass of champagne. And you wouldn't know that because it's none of your business. But he was very polite about it, and I'm sure what he was thinking on the inside was not what he was saying on the outside, because clearly she doesn't know what she's talking about. And can you say deflect any more than what she was doing? That won't save your relationship, Beck. I don't think anything can save your relationship. Do you think Danny likes to see the side of you? You're embarrassing him in front of everybody. You're going to have a very tough, eye-opening moment very soon here, Beck, if you think your relationship is doing well. He couldn't have sat farther away from her than at this last dinner party. She was vicious and mean to everyone, and Danny doesn't like that. He likes no drama. That's not what was happening here. Tonight's the commitment ceremony, but first, a letter arrives. The experts don't think the new couples have had enough time to participate in the stay or leave part of the ceremony. It's too early in for them. They still have lots of tasks to do to bring them closer, to get to know each other before they can make such a decision. Tyson told Stephanie he was surprised she didn't stand up for him at the dinner party. She even thinks that she enjoyed the fact that everybody was ganging up on him. She did. You've been ganging up on her. And Stephanie, she made it very clear that she wouldn't back up her partner if she didn't agree with them. The thing is, though, that she does agree with his point of view. But I just think she wanted him to take this one on his own. She doesn't like the way he goes about things, and he's not treating her like a partner, so she's not treating him like one. He claims that he's really not even married, and that doesn't go over well with the rest of the group. According to everybody else, they are married, and according to Stephanie, they're married. So this is a little bit of a problem and will be brought up, I'm sure, at the commitment ceremony. It's just a really rude thing to say. And if that's the way he believes, then he's not going to be good in this experiment at all. He's not even given it a chance. These two just don't get along, and he keeps pushing this masculine energy that couldn't be farther from the truth. She's actually quite feminine. She's just strong and opinionated. Nothing wrong with that. Doesn't make you masculine. Mel and Luke just aren't getting any closer, and I imagine Mel will want to leave again, so that'll be it for them. And I'll miss Luke. Mel, not so much, but I'll definitely miss Luke. Here comes Julia and her word salad again. Her explanation of why she doesn't want to continue this relationship is just makes zero sense. Again, word salad. She wants to continue the emotional depth and expanding the natural, organic, free-flowing energy that she probably needs to romantically connect. What? No wonder Grayson is so confused. We're all confused. Everybody's looking at her like, what are you talking about? The thing is, she just talks a lot of words that really make absolutely no sense. And as a partner, it must be almost impossible for Grayson to figure her out. Maybe that's the point. Maybe she doesn't want him to figure her out. She says she probably needs this free-flowing energy to be able to connect to her partner. She's gonna need another weirdo for sure, because a normal person is not going to understand her thought process. The flame of mutual energy hasn't been ignited, she says. I mean, again, word salad. Grayson has tried so hard. It shouldn't be this difficult for anybody to connect. I'm really not sure why they were paired. I mean, shouldn't the relationship benefit both parties, not just Julia? Shouldn't Grayson get some kind of benefit from being paired with her? I don't see that he has. Although they are quite fond of each other on a friendship level. Beck says to Danny in a whisper, they are coming for me next. Yeah. Yes, they are. They're coming for you. You came for everybody the night before. Why wouldn't they come for you? You can't get away with that abhorrent behavior. Now, the experts are excited to hear about the couple's celebration of their 1-month anniversary. John talks about Beck's behavior at the dinner party, and he believes some couples are in crisis after seeing what they saw. And I agree. Now, Stephanie and Tyson are up first, which I would have thought they would have been last, but there's so much drama in this actual episode and at this actual commitment ceremony that they're actually not the worst off of everybody. That's pretty telling. John points out that the two of them are quite frosty, and John calls out Tyson. And he says, you don't like the way Stephanie speaks to you. Have you heard the way you speak to Stephanie? The way you spoke to Stephanie last night at the dinner party, you called her a temporary wife. And if you liked her more, you would pay for the full dinner bill. She's too much like a man. What are you talking about? This is a very sweet, elegant, beautiful woman. Why are you alienating her so much? This man uses that word again, and I'm telling you what, I knew the experts would not like that word, especially Alexandra and Mel, because it's just rude. Just don't use the word submissive anymore. And so he asked her, well, what do you want? What's the word I should use? Tyson has traditional values. My husband has traditional values, so do I, and he would never use the word submissive. I mean, it's just so archaic, and I am just hoping that they help him take that word out of his vocabulary, because I don't even know if that's really what he's meaning. Stephanie is no cave woman to his caveman. She's sophisticated, driven, and confident. The word submissive means I want a woman to lie down and give up her rights, not try to have their needs met. Women just aren't like that anymore. He's going to have a hard time if that's what he really wants. But then he claims it's not. That's not what he wants. But that's what he's been saying. It's all about him and his needs and nothing about the woman and her needs. He denies saying it, and Mel and the experts tell him, oh, but you are saying that. Exactly what you're saying. And that's what Stephanie's hearing. That's what we're all hearing. Finally, Tyson admits that he could very well be using the wrong word. You are using the wrong word, Tyson. You couldn't possibly want a submissive woman. That's weird. He doesn't want someone who will challenge him. And now this is a really interesting point of the episode, because that's a problem in it of itself. If you really want a relationship and be in a partnership, you need somebody to challenge you. How are you ever going to grow? Debating, disagreeing, that's part of a healthy relationship. And Mel brings this to Tyson's attention. She lets him know, you think you're superior to Stephanie, and you're not. I think this has opened his eyes. I'm hoping that he gives the relationship a chance. She's certainly willing to let bygones be bygones. I'm not sure why, but she's attracted to him, and they have a lot of the same morals and values. So let's get past this stupid word here and let's move forward. I'm just over the word submissive. I don't ever want to hear it again. Tyson realizes being combative has scared Stephanie. He just needs to be more gentle with her, and I hope he takes that into consideration. Stella and Philippe are on the couch, and these two are just so lovely. They just are so easy and so comfortable around each other. It makes everybody comfortable around them. These two are already discussing their future and what it would look like outside of the experiment, which is exactly what the experts want to hear. Philippe gets to be himself, and that is so powerful in a relationship, to be your goofy, authentic self without judgment and know that your person appreciates it. Mel and Luke are up, and Mel is back to her negative, joyless self. I enjoyed Mel 2.0. I'm not happy to see the original Mel back on the couch, but here she is. She just couldn't hold up the farce of being somebody joyful and happy for very long. Her true self came back to the surface, and Luke's tired. He said he tried so hard to stay positive, and he's just not getting anything back, and never really has. John is straight with Mel when she describes what she's looking for in a man. She describes Luke. Everybody can see it. Mel says she is looking for someone with empathy, who hears her wants and needs, and who can help her take care of things. Someone who makes her feel like they can take the weight off of her shoulders. And Alyssa says, that's Luke. That's 100% who they paired you with. Luke's supportive, empathetic, and he can fix things. And John points that out. The real problem is Mel has never forgiven him for chewing gum and showing up late to the nuptials. They never got past that day. She's got a lot of growing up to do. They both say leave, and it's too bad. What a waste of a good man. She never gave it a chance. She's going to be kicking herself in the future. Alyssa and David are up. Their relationship gets stronger every day. But the dinner party needs to be discussed. They really attacked Alyssa once again, just like the prior dinner party. It's excruciating to watch. John wonders why these two have been targeted by other people in the group. John asks Beck, why are you talking about the other couples and their relationships? And Beck doesn't have an answer. She doesn't know why. We all know why. She's trying to deflect. She doesn't want anybody putting a magnifying glass up to her relationship. Grayson asks Beck if she's jealous, and she's surprised that he asked that question. She says, no, why would I be jealous? What do you mean, why would you be jealous? Because your relationship is horrible. You're just not willing to accept it. Gia says she owns her mean girl behavior, but does she? I mean, she continues to fall right back into it all the time. I think that's who she is, to be honest. David speaks up. He is tired of his wife being attacked and then having to go home and him having to pick up the pieces, watch her cry and be devastated, because these are two grown women and they need to act like adults. Beck and Gia's apologies mean nothing. Even Stella mentioned before that positive actions would be the only apology she would accept, not empty ones. And I'm sure Alyssa feels the same. David told Alyssa he treasures her, and it was so beautiful because you really can tell that he does. And she's worthy of being treasured. She's a beautiful soul. Julia and Grayson are up on the couch, and Julia tells the experts she broke up with Grayson. Grayson knows she hasn't been emotionally or physically present the entire time of the experiment. Julia's communication is airy-fairy, he calls it, which I loved. It is exactly her in a nutshell, airy-fairy. The way Grayson describes it, Grayson has nothing left to give. He's so utterly and totally exhausted. For those of you who have been through anything really emotionally challenging, you know what exhaustion, emotional exhaustion is. It is like no other. It's on a different level of physical exhaustion. He's just shattered, and Grayson is so emotional. He cries. It made me emotional, it made me cry, made everybody emotional. Sad to see him that way. Such a broken man now. He feels rejected, and Julia couldn't be any more cold. She didn't even comfort Grayson. He's really such a lovely man. Just don't understand it. Sam and Chris are up, and they had a great time at the dinner party, just watching all the craziness go on, I'm sure. What a amazing entertainment. Their relationship's growing, and they want to take their time with intimacy. They really like each other, and they want something to come of this. Rachel and Steven are next up on the couch, and they wanted to go fishing, but they couldn't go, so Rachel made a cute game of it, and Steven made a romantic, silly lunch with wine and flowers and candles, and you can't go wrong there. These two are slowly getting some romance into their relationship. Gia and Scott are next, and they have started having some very deep conversations, which they talk about, which is really great for them. And they got matching tattoos, which is crazy, but it shows that they have a commitment there. Gia's excuse for showing everybody Beck's text is because she felt bullied. So you just decide to bully everybody else by announcing these texts and embarrassing Alyssa and putting a grenade in her and David's relationship? I mean, Scott thinks Gia's perfect, and so she really can't do any wrong in his eyes, and he's there to back her no matter what she does, because her behavior has been pretty bad, especially towards Alyssa and Beck, and she's just a mean girl. That's just the bottom line. I really thought they would come at Gia more for her behavior, the experts, but I guess it's all gonna go on Beck. I mean, she was so bad. I mean, how could you not address it? Joel and Juliet are up, and Juliet felt Joel was too performative at the wedding, and she wanted to see the real Joel, which she did on their honeymoon. Juliet is worried that the attraction just isn't there, and she's really honest about it, and they've talked about it. And his personality is a bit goofy. He knows that. He just wants to be able to be himself in a relationship, whether it works out or not. He wants to be his authentic self. And I've had this experience before with a male model back in my day, and his goofy side just was not sexy to me at all. It doesn't matter what he looks like in pictures. It's how you feel, and I couldn't get past it. And sometimes if there is no chemistry, there's just no chemistry. Okay, Beck and Danny, let's see if Danny stays. I'm not sure. He seems so checked out and seems so not in this relationship, in my opinion. The experts even call him out. Alexander's like, what's going on with you, Danny? She asks how they're doing after last week's allegations were made. And he just doesn't really want to talk about it. He hasn't wanted to talk about it. And if he had maybe cleared it up or admitted to it or something, we could move on from this. Once again, Danny says nothing, and Gia says, stronger than ever, just admit it, Danny. The room is silent and nobody is buying it. Beck really is into Danny, and she's also really in denial. And she just doesn't want to admit to the fact that her man's not into her and this relationship isn't going to work out. Alexandra says it looks like Danny is absolutely miserable, and I think he is. He almost looks like he's in a abusive relationship. He just doesn't even know. When Beck asks him if he's miserable, he doesn't look like he's being honest. He's afraid of her. And somebody even called him out on it. I think it was Joel. He's afraid of her, he said. Alexandra calls Danny out and she asks him, how do you feel about Beck's behavior at the dinner party? Everybody else feels like it was horrible. How do you feel? And Danny desperately wants a ride or die. And he says, how can you have that if you're not one yourself? He claims that Beck's just passionate about him and her feelings at the moment. He wouldn't answer the question, though, about how he felt about Beck's behavior. And finally, he does. He finally admits to being embarrassed about Beck's behavior. John asked, wonder what it's like to be Danny behind closed doors. And that made me think about the last recap I did, where I ended with Danny said under his breath, don't tell me what to do. And that was really whispered quietly under his breath. They're not being authentic with what's really going on in their relationship. John really called Beck out about throwing grenades into all the relationships, especially the ones that seem to be doing well, just to get the attention off of herself. Danny just keeps telling everybody he didn't say what Gia says he said. Danny even says, look, I don't mean to be rude, but even though I'm covered in tattoos, I don't like my woman to be covered in tattoos. I think we all know Danny said what he said, and he should just admit to it so we could all move forward, and him and Beck can move forward. I think he might like her. I don't know. I'm not really sure. I get wishy-washy with him. He's just not very forthcoming with his authentic feelings. There's a little word salad for you. Gia stands by the fact that Danny said she's more his type, and she's not letting that go. And her man is standing by her. So this topic is never going to go away until we get the real truth. I don't believe Danny. I think he told Beck to just move on from this, and Beck can't. And it's going to keep coming up. I can't wait for the real reveal. I had a great time watching this episode. It was really one of my favorites. I'm looking forward to getting to know the new couples. It looks like there might be a little turn of events in Stephanie and Tyson's relationship. Maybe a little breakthrough. That's awesome. All right, you guys, I will see you in a couple days with the new recap. I hope you have a wonderful week. Take care of yourselves. Bye.